Hello and welcome to Law and Order SVU here on FANVERSATION. I am so excited. Today we are talking season 23, episode 15. I am Yael Tygiel. I am joined as always by Taylor Gates. Hello, Taylor.
Hello.
Hi, and Felicia Michelle is here. Hello,
Hi,
Felicia.
you guys. And did y'all notice I got my bye Felicia's in? If you are culturally aware, if you know, you know. I got my bye Felicia's in. You know, you know.
And now we know.
And now we know. The more you know. What did we learn?
Yep.
Already ready for the segment.
Right.
We have a segment every show. Yeah.
Well, do we have to learn something? Welcome, everybody. This, again, is season 23, episode 15, Promising Young Gentlemen. I love the title. Before we jump in, if you are new to our show, if you are in a situation and you need help, please reach out to RAINN. Their number is 1-800-656-4673.
It spells hope.
Yep.
Just so you know.
656-4673. Spells hope. Thank you, Taylor.
Yeah, no problem.
I just want everyone to know that I am so diabolical that I have Taylor now cutting Yael off.
Yeah. I'm about to start. Yeah.
This smells
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, thanks. I said that already, but
Cool. All right. Well, if you're new to our show, this show, SVU, talks about serious issues, talks about real things. This episode talked about sexual assault on college campuses, talked about hate crimes, and we, on the S Review After Show, will absolutely say something offensive. So please consider this your content warning. It is not your trigger warning. It's your content warning.
Two shots center mass.
So last week's episode. Before we get into the discussion, hello to everyone live in the chat. I see we have Jennifer and Aaliyah, Daryl, Zach, and Mr. Big Rose. Welcome, everybody. The quick cap for this episode: Carissi's niece helps a friend report a sexual assault. Benson investigates a college's secret society that preys on female students. All right. How did we feel about this episode, Promising Young Gentlemen? Felicia, tell us what you thought.
10 out of 10. I give it 10 out of 10, because we got a great storyline, very good storyline. We got a re-emergence of our literally the worst university ever. And on the other side, we also got to know one of our main characters, in our Carissi, in a much more personal way, more personal than probably I think we've ever have. And, I guess, but no, I give it a 9 out of 10 because, I don't like that whole Carissi Rollins thing. 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10, I think.
That's fair. All right. Taylor, what do you think?
I have seen this episode before many times. Like, this was not anything new, except for the hate crime aspect, which was interesting. However, I didn't even care because the lines were so solid that I had fun regardless. Like, I didn't even care about the plot. I was just like, what are these people about to say next? Because this is wild. These people are absolutely unhinged. Everyone, the perpetrators, our team, like everyone was just on top of their quippy game. And so I was here for it no matter what.
Amazing. I enjoyed this episode a lot, but 100% I've seen all of it. All of this has happened before, even the hate crimes bit, because if we recall, Graylick, played by Michaela McManus, she was the crusader because she wanted to charge hate crimes, rape as a hate crime, and that was her goal. And in fact, in one of her cases, she got someone to take a deal because she was like, I'm going to add a hate crime to this. And they took the deal instead.
Here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
Graylick was just so boring and unlikable that I didn't even remember that.
How dare you?
I didn't like him at all. No, I was not a fan of Graylick.
All right. Well, before we get into the story of the episode, let's talk about this Carissi, the Raleigh of it all. I will say this. I appreciate that we got to meet his mother. I would like to understand, first of all, why was his dad not, like, what's up with the dad? That's something, there's something up because of the fact that they kept pointing out that he was out of town and that they talked on the phone. But also, he has like 15 sisters. Where are they? I thought Sunday dinner was a big deal at this family.
I thought the same thing. I thought we were gonna come and it was gonna be like a feast with like 18 people, and it was just like the three of them. I guess there was four because Mia was just like randomly there for a second, but I was disappointed. Like I wanted it to be so chaotic, and like I wanted a whole episode of just like family dinner chaos that we didn't get. But it was still great. I mean, his mom really made the most of her time, so that's good at least.
You know, y'all know how I feel about this relationship, and it feels forced. I feel like I'm watching a brother and sister. Like, you ever saw Flowers in the Attic? Like, just like that. Like, I understood why they had sex.
Flowers in the Attic.
Like, I could like, but it's just wrong. This is wrong. It doesn't make any. It's just wrong. And I mean, I guess I don't know. The mother, she was very interesting. And it was kind of weird that she ended up being like kind of such a hard ass. And then it was like, actually, no, I actually do like Amanda, but like, I'm just gonna be harsh and then put in pockets of like kindness. Oh, a care package for the girls, but like, I'm gonna be all rough on you. And I feel like that's just really stupid because, like, let's be honest, our characters are like older. Like, they're not 19, 20, 21, can bring somebody home. Like, they're old. You just better be be happy he brought somebody. Like, you need to treat her like gold. Okay. And honestly, it kind of was weird too, because if they had such a close relationship for so long and a close friendship, he's always at her house, was watching her kids. Why would this be like an introduction? Like, it's weird. If you've ever dated a friend, you already usually know the person or people in their lives. So like the introductory, this is my girlfriend dinner was a little weird to me. And the food didn't look appetizing. And he's supposed to be a really good cook. And his mom should have had better looking food. And then desserts, I'd have been like, no, ma'am, I will not try your, what did you call it? A shigari. Y'all know a live chat. What did she call it? Whatever that dessert was. No, I'm not eating that.
I agree on a couple of things. The fact that the mom was like, I tried to teach him to cook, but he never really learned. But literally, we've seen him. He's an amazing. Like, the whole thing is that he is a great cook, and I'm really surprised that Rollins wasn't like. Actually, he is a really great cook. He cooks all the time. Like, he cooks for my family. He's so wonderful. You raised a great son. You know what I mean? Like, she didn't do any of that. She just like, she turned into a 14-year-old girl who was like, yes, ma'am. No, ma'am.
God bless.
Yeah, I was allergic to the relationship. Okay.
It was this one to seek approval, but like, I mean, not to be rude or anything like that, but people always throw Amanda's past in her face, particularly when it comes to her kids and the situation in her romantic life and that. And so she probably just really was like, I hope this woman doesn't think I'm, not a good Catholic girl. And I like
two girls. So the father's not in the picture. I want to be like, fathers.
Plural, babe. Plural.
Like baby daddies.
Right.
Nothing wrong with that, but that's the facts. There's more than one.
Yeah, I know. I agree with you. Amanda's a grown woman. She's very adult. And it's not like Carissi's, in his 20s. They're adults. So
I have to say though, I think it's kind of cute because it is always scary, like, to meet you kind of turn back into, like, you revert sometimes, I feel like, when you are around your parents and your family. So I don't know, I thought it was kind of cute.
That's why I declined to meet.
I know, but it is true. Like, you just like want their approval, no matter how old you are. I feel like so.
Woman, I know who I am. Then you get in front of some person who was like born around 1960, and you're like that you want to impress. And you're like, shit. Like, what do I do? Like, how do I move? And like, you want to put such a good impression on somebody that I get it, but that's why I don't do it.
So I'm gonna start a conversation that is irrelevant, but still something that was on my mind as I watched this. Rollins referred to her as Mrs. Carissi, and at no point did she go, oh, call me whatever her first name is, which, fine. Like, I understand first time meeting, sure, let's give it a second. But Mia calls her Amanda and Olivia, and I'm like, the last time you interacted with them, you were like a victim going through some issues, and they were detective and captain. You know what I mean? Like, it seems odd to me that Mia, who was raised in this family, would be so casual with Amanda and Benson. but yet Rollins is expected to call his mom Mrs. Carissi. It just irked me a little bit.
It's generational. It's generational because it's like the same. I don't know if you saw it's a thing on the internet and they're talking about how every generation is different. Like older generations, when you say thank you, when they say thank you, they want the you're welcome response, where other generations go, oh, no problem. And some people, it's just a generational way of looking at it. A generation like that usually wants respect. I don't know about y'all or what everyone else experiences, but culturally, for me, like you got to put miss in front of it. It doesn't matter if you're saying miss in their first name, miss in their last name, but you have to put like some type of respect on that. It usually kind of seems like, you know, newer generations don't really care and like focus on things like that. So I think maybe it just was a generational thing, you know, like, okay, well, and plus nobody wants to feel old. Call me Felicia. No, I don't miss Felicia over here. Young, you know, that's probably, so maybe that's a little bit of that.
Interesting. It just, as it was happening, I was like, something.
Well, his mom was being kind of bitchy, which I don't like. We didn't call it what it was. She was being kind of bitchy, and that's not cool.
But I genuinely believe that's just her personality to everyone. Like, I don't think she was putting it on for Amanda. I think that's just how she speaks to everyone, genuinely. Like, I don't know. I just get the vibe. She just says what she wants. Like,
yeah, or tells you not, or she runs the show because she told Mia, not at the table. Like, I don't want you talking about that at the table. And I was like, she's not even talking about like an instance of assault, or she's not even getting into specifics. She's just saying what activities that she does on campus. She like pointed an object at her. I don't know if it was a fork or something. And she was like, not at the table. And I was like,
yeah.
Terrifying.
That's a whole other thing. Like, oh, we can't say the word sexual assault at the table.
Your son works literally for the special victims unit. Like,
right.
Dun.
Yeah, like, okay.
I mean, I think that just goes back to like this history of keeping things, you don't talk about things. And I think that that's so interesting that this family has brought up people who talk about these things. But it came from a woman who was like, no. All right, let's talk about the story of the episode. We do have some people in the chat who agreed with a lot of us. Jennifer says, a very good episode. Always love, hate seeing Hudson.
Same.
And then also says, yeah, it was not new, but I enjoyed it. Aaliyah says, I enjoyed this episode a lot, though I agree we've done this before. Yeah, all of these things we've done, but
yeah, whatever. It's great. I love a college campus episode genuinely, so keep going if you want. Like,
I say it like literally. We should put this on a t-shirt. Proud Hudson University reject. Like, I am so happy not the college that I got into. Where's my rejection letter? Like, we will send you a rejection letter from Hudson University.
Like, honestly,
because you are not complacent in sex crimes.
I would even wear a shirt. I would even wear a shirt that says, like, I survived Hudson University.
I want like a Hudson University alum.
Yeah.
I survived Hudson University. That's what
Hudson.
Well, all right. We're working on these.
But it seems like while Yael's working on that, it seems like they're trying to show some type of cultural shift and change in how the university deals with things with this new president, you know, that we see, who is not only a woman, but also a woman of color. So like it kind of seeing the visual markers of change, even kind of like just the switch of leadership. I guess that's what they're trying to show. It's a little something different. I don't know though. I don't have much hope in Hudson. I know that's.
I believe this was not our first woman of color president for Hudson that we've met.
There's been a woman, but I don't think it's been a Black woman.
I think there was a Black woman before for one episode. Because there was that old white lady who has a name, she was in a bunch of episodes. Robert was the old white lady. And then there was another woman for one episode, and it was a different woman. And so this is...
They cannot keep their staff, and I understand why. There's a revolving door of leadership here.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be president either of Hudson U.
Rape University?
Yeah, absolutely not.
I mean, to be fair, it is not the only rape university in New York based on 23 seasons of SVU.
It's not, but it's the most prominent.
It really feels like the more we get to know this university, I think I said this before, and I feel like the school has gotten more prestigious over the years because I
Which,
could
like, how?
right, I could have sworn like early on it was not like a good school, and now it is like a school that has a history of like these, organizations, and that
Like,
seems so weird to me.
Love
move
that.
over, Harvard. Move over, Harvard. Hudson University's here. Okay.
I want to, and then also the fact that our detective Parlato-Goldstein from Hate Crimes, oh, that face, Felicia,
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
um, that he's an alum is so interesting. That he's not just an alum; he was part of this bishop.
He was a legend. Okay.
You're still alive?
I mean, that seems fair. The fact that they were surprised he was alive, that sounds right.
Well,
I
I don't understand the game.
I'm going to explain it.
Okay, you will.
please.
Yeah. Okay. So the game is Zoom Schwartz Carlotto Goldstein.
Parlato-Goldstein.
Yeah.
I wrote it down.
I 100% believe the rules of this game, and I'm going to allow the writers to correct me if I'm wrong, but the rules of this game are whatever the girl says is wrong and she has to drink.
Okay, that's what I thought it was. So really this game is a set up.
Yes, the game 100% was how do we get this girl drunk? Whatever she does is not right. You can't do that. Drink.
You can't say Zoom to Zoom.
Yeah, because they did not explain the game, and that's what it reminds me of. It's a weird poll, but in Big Daddy, the game is called I Win, and it doesn't matter what cards he has, he wins.
Well, there you go.
So I think it's that.
It was the leaving the pocketbooks and the coat and the phone, and if y'all know me, y'all really think I'm gonna leave? Okay, coat. All right, I'll leave the coat, purse, and phone. I would put my phone in an undisclosed location on my body before I leave it anywhere, and I got layers, so I would figure out some place to put it and not leave it on a bus like this.
Right.
What I did like about this episode is that as you're watching it, you can you do a lot of what the fuck are you thinking? Why are you doing that? Why would you do that? Why would you agree to that? And I like that the writers answer a lot of those questions. Even when we saw Rollins talk to the young woman who wasn't too drunk and she got to leave, she said, well, why did you go? Like, why did you, they kind of answered in the script.
Because she's an anthropology major and it was the only chance she would have gotten to see it.
That is
it's like, okay.
I'm like, what did they say? They named some famous families. They're like, we don't
Kennedys.
Genuinely, I yelled at my TV. I went, that is not a reason.
No.
Okay, so I will say that the thing I loved the most about this episode, I think that was very different from any other episode, is that no one would talk, so they went to the adults, and they were like, "Hey, you're the adult,
help, so to speak."
Yeah,
which was
smart. Yes, and they were like, "Tell us what happened," and the adults went, "Let me tell you what these pricks did," and told them all what happened. And I think that it was very, very interesting. The way that like this whole conspiracy 100% was planned out.
Yeah. I thought it was, I'm sorry.
What was that, Felicia?
I said there was even music. There's even a song.
We'll get to the song. Oh, we'll get to that.
Are you saying Taylor? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's okay. No, I was just saying I thought it was so interesting how they like played on the class of it all too, because like these people are rich, like they're so entitled. Like of course they're not even gonna think about like the workers that are there because they don't even see them as people. They don't even see them. Period. So I thought that was really cool too. How they were like, okay, we'll talk to the people you forget even exist because they just exist to like serve you. And so I liked that touch too, where they're like, yeah, they obviously like don't even remember they're there because they're like invisible to them. So we got you.
Yeah. There was the moment where Oscar is telling us about the parties and ordering the sweet stuff to knock them out. And Finn was like, you don't want them to get sick. Or no, Finn said to knock them out, and then Oscar said, you don't want the girls, they don't want the girls to get sick. And all I could think was, you're mixing this shit. The girls are getting sick. Like watching how drunk she was on the wine at the party after the shots in the car, I was like, that girl's gonna throw up. I don't know what world we live in. That girl's vomiting. You can't have shots and then wine. You're gonna vomit. It's gonna.
And like the more sugary stuff is like worse. In my experience, I'm like, that is not a comfort to hear. That's what you're serving them. Like,
I don't know. It just
I'm nauseous.
Well, it's just weird. Like these girls probably all weigh like all of 115, 120. You think you're gonna be able to serve them copious amounts of alcohol all night long, and they're not gonna get sick? At some point, your body will, if anybody's ever drank, your body will be like, we can't process any of this anymore. Some of this has to go. So it's just interesting. And it's also interesting to wonder where the shift came from, because Goldstein's like, what do you mean? We had girls over there. Their regular stuff happened. Like, and it kind of made it seem like the traditional or typical or stereotypical, rather, frat experience. Mm-hmm. And this is something totally different. So I thought to myself when I watched this, how can something switch so quickly? Or, right, are people just not cognizant, or were they not cognizant back then of just how vile some of their actions or the things that they did in order to get a certain outcome or conspired to get a certain outcome were predatory? Maybe people just didn't realize.
I think you make a really good point, because Oscar says, he says in the old days, the boys were more respectful. And Jason Biggs' character also was like, it wasn't like that before. And I'm going to be honest, I think you guys were turning a blind eye. Like my assumption is that he was so focused on like the drinking aspect, he didn't notice the other stuff. Because I think that is totally possible, that his focus was elsewhere. His focus wasn't on getting it with the girls. So like he didn't notice that it was going on. And I would assume that Oscar, I'm making an assumption based on his age, is of a different generation, and that it may have seemed a little bit more normal until he got older and saw how much more aggressive and how just more distasteful the way the guys went about it. And Daryl in the chat says, I think it's a bit of both. People will see what they want to see.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I think it's a bit of both. I feel like they are looking at it through like rose-colored glasses for sure. Like, I don't think it was all like as clean and perfect as they're like saying it was, but I do think that I think it could be a bit of a culture shift just based on like the song. Like, of course we don't know what the song was before, but like if you're outwardly like bragging about that through the song now, like that's a bit of like an extreme shift, I think too. So I think it's a combination probably.
It almost feels like it. I'm gonna make a guess here that with the birth of the incel, like this, is what happens after that.
Yeah. And then what Taylor said, you literally took the thought of my head when you talked about their level of, they're elitist. Mm-hmm. And they're in. Someone talked about this before, and it was like basically saying how people consume culture, because when people are in a class where they're elitist, or they just think anything is up for consumption. So that can be someone's culture, that can be someone's body. As long as I can afford it, and as long as I have the resources, then it doesn't matter. And I am not appropriating. I am not taking anything. I'm getting rightfully what is mine, because I can pay whatever the price is, right? And if that's lawyers or hiring staff that, I guess they did actually end up talking, but remained silent for a number of years anyway.
Right. Yeah. Sapphire said the students are a bunch of elitist trash bag. I'm glad the adults told on them. I agree. Let's talk about
adults would have intervened, because I don't have any children yet, maybe one day, but I was a girl in college, and if I have a daughter and she goes to college, I would pray for God, or for any female that's young, or anybody who's in a position to be victimized. I would pray that somebody steps in and goes, no, that's not right. Even if you
point.
Secretly call the police. You don't have to intervene on your own. There's so many other ways you can intervene to actually help somebody and not just cash your paycheck. But I understand needing to survive. I get that.
I think also when this episode started, I thought that it was going to be a reveal that this all started because of the legend of Parlato-Goldstein, and that like kind of behind the whole thing.
Ooh.
And honestly, I was like, that's why you give us Jason Biggs. Like now I understand why you gave us Jason Biggs, which nobody liked. And you were like, yes, we needed him because now we can sacrifice him. But no, that wasn't it.
Here's the thing, like, even though we didn't get that, I liked him more in this episode because I thought it was like, I mean, of course, you know, he wasn't undercover, but he was still kind of playing them in a way. And so the fact that we got that crazy scene because of him, like, I have to appreciate his work there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So let's talk about this. So he was a member 20 years ago. Apparently, the Boom Boom Room is now called the Grand Prix Room.
Who calls it that? Oh my god.
Look, I think it's really funny that it went. I thought it would go the opposite. That like we used to call it the Grand Prix Room because we're so clever and classy, and the kids today took it down a notch to Boom Boom.
Yeah.
Nope, went the other way. And so let's talk about the song because I wrote the lyrics. But first and foremost, why would your pledge song be Old MacDonald?
That's a great question.
Or Twinkle Twinkle Little Star because they're the same melody.
Old MacDonald and Twinkle Twinkle Little Star?
They're the same melody.
The Twinkle Twinkle Little Star is the same melody as something else.
It's close, but it's not.
McDonald.
No, it's not the same. It's not quite the same. I just did it. I just did it in my head.
Did you?
Yeah. Sing it for us.
Yeah.
I don't gotta do nothing.
You brought it up. No.
So,
have
sang this too. I thought they should have. They wanted to remix it. Put it with the thong song. Like put it with something good. Like put it with something that makes sense. Put it with something.
Put it to WAP. Like what are you guys doing?
Wait, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star is the same as the alphabet song.
There we go.
One of them is the same. I don't know.
Well, McDonald's is his own thing.
Yeah. Sapphire asked the important question.
Which writer?
I don't know, but I want to give them an Emmy right now.
Because I was like, what are they doing in their writer's room, right? When it gets to this part, like really, were they sitting there like, this is crazy, like laughing?
The lyrics are wild.
I want them to get an Emmy for this jingle, like badly, because it was so artistic.
Ready for the lyrics, everybody?
Yes.
Oh, we are the Bishop Club, sluts and bitches and hoes. And in this club, we have a code. The bitches are our foes. With a few shots here and edibles there, jungle juice, get her loose. No more needing to seduce. Oh, we are the Bishop Club, and everybody knows. And when you have a boys' night out, we turn fresh girls to hoes. Take her purse, take her shoes, take away her right to choose. On her back and on her knees, crying out, oh, please, please, please. It just gets...
It's a confession.
It like starts silly and just gets...
Dark.
Also, you can't say hoes that many times. Think of something else. It's not creative.
I genuinely had the same thought as I was writing it. I was like, how many times do they rhyme hoes?
Like, seriously, guys? Like, there's got to be other words that rhyme with that.
I don't know. That's pretty solid.
I like the use of foes.
Foes is good, but like toes, so's, shows. Like, come on, guys. Do you not play Wordle?
Oh, no's.
No's, yeah.
Like, we don't hear no.
I don't know. I was with them. I'm not gonna lie. Was I singing along? Kind of. I was like, bitches and hoes. I was, and then it turned out like, oh. Okay, let me stop. I'm lying. I was not. I was kind of in my head jamming a little bit, but as it kept going, I'm like watching this with someone else. Like we're sitting there watching, and we both were like, "Yo, there's not a song. There's no way. There's a fucking song." It's the first time there's been a song. This is the first song, at least. We haven't seen this story before, but it's the first. This is the first crime music.
I think that's. Yeah, I think that's a valid.
It's the first confessional rape pledge song.
Wow, what a moment.
Jennifer says, yeah, if you're going to be vulgar and sexist, at least have a bit of wit.
Exactly, Jennifer. That's what we were talking about last week. Yael and I were like, this guy is so gross, but his pickup lines are so funny that we had a little fun with it. Remember? The guy? Yeah.
Awful, but I was like, what a clever way to turn everything.
That's the thing. These guys, you can't say hoes that many times. Period.
You can't say hoes. I think honestly, sluts and bitches and hoes is just like yeah, sluts and bitches and hoes. Like how silly and fun. And then you're like, oh, this gets terrible.
That gets really bad. Like very outwardly, this is a confession. Like there's no gray area. Like
the second line is the confession.
And
that's what I'm saying.
Sorry, Felicia, go ahead.
No, I'm saying no, it is hateful. It's like really hateful. And then I know this probably like, sorry to bring it down, y'all. I'm about to do it, but I'll raise it back up in a second. Give me a second. That shit was really hard to watch after because I was like shocked. But then like as I'm watching this episode, is particularly that part of me like gets really sad because I realize that even though I know I'm watching a show and why we love the show is because there's just the realism to what's actually going on and that there are actually pockets and places and spaces where men congregate together and share these ideologies and believe these ideologies and light each other's fire about these ideologies and actually go out and do these things. And that made me sick to my stomach because I know like this is a fictitious group of men doing this, but I know in real life there are men. Maybe there's not a song and maybe there's a song and hopefully it's wittier, but that really, really do this shit.
Yeah.
So it was like kind of sad. But again, in real life, maybe they'll have better rhymes, better bars.
If it exists in if a song like this exists in real life, I hope it's not to Old McDonald.
Yeah.
Like I hope if you're gonna be that hateful of a person,
get a solid beat. Get a new producer. Get a solid beat. Pay for your beats.
Now I really want it to WAP. Like, thanks, Taylor.
Yeah, you're welcome. I mean, come on, guys. I don't think they could have gotten the rights to that. I feel like Old McDonald's definitely public domain, and that's why they picked that.
Oh man,
a great job keeping face though, because I I can't control my faces for anything. So him acting as his character did a great job.
Yeah, they took it real serious,
while still looking a bit shocked.
Right.
Yeah, as you should.
Let's talk about McGrath in all this.
Okay.
So first of all, I love when he goes, "How was that?" And Ben's is like, I heard you. And he's like, no, I'm asking how I did. Because
and she says,
angry.
Please let me say it.
Yes,
she says,
go ahead.
And you are getting there.
My God said he was on the road to Damascus. I was like, what?
I was cracking up. And you are getting there.
I appreciate that we are showing growth for him. I also would like us to go back to the other storyline of he might be abusing his family. Like, can we deal with that?
You're just gonna skim over the fact that you was knocking that bitch's head between the washer and the dryer, and you think that we're just gonna forget about that because now you talking nice to Olivia, and you're really not nice. You're just sort of saying the same shit, which is if we can't make a case. Move on, ho, like bitch. Well, you're not saying ho and bitch. You're saying please, ma'am.
Right.
Like we're still kind of the same sentiment, but maybe he is like redeeming himself because he did come back and he said, my daughter showed me all this stuff. I'm like, is this the same daughter?
So here,
let's go back to the daughter because she was wilding out a couple weeks ago.
But
you and your family, and now y'all are sharing videos and.
But okay, but because he's like, I have a daughter, therefore now I understand this. And I was like, no, dude, no. Having a daughter is not why you're against assault.
Given very much, I have Black friends.
100%.
Very much, I have gay friends.
Yeah.
Whenever someone says they have a daughter, I just think of Elliot Stabler, though, because that was his favorite line for like 12 years. I have daughters. I have daughters.
Right. I have
18 kids.
You can have a million daughters, you can have a mother, you can have an auntie, you can have a sister, but if you don't look at women in the capacity as people and individuals,
Right.
it doesn't fucking matter. Like, because listen, people talking about their moms. Oh, I love this. Oh, you say, oh, what do you love about your mom? I really listen. Like, when a guy talks about his mom is like very important, or anyone, like specifically men talk about the women in their life. What are they saying? If they're describing like the things and making a list of what I'm so sorry to bore you, Taylor.
No, I'm sorry. No, you weren't.
Wow.
Taylor was like,
it's daylight savings. I lost an hour last night.
It was rough for all of us. No, but if a man starts talking about all the things his mom, my mom's great. She cooks for me. She cleans for me. She makes sure I have all this and not like, oh, my mom is really smart. She's super artistic. She's very resourceful.
Right.
Kind of look at it like that. So you can say you have a mother. You can say you have a sister. You can say that you know somebody with a brand new vagina. And it won't matter because unless you see this woman as a human being, an individual, her being a woman doesn't fucking matter.
Well, let's talk about the people who have women in their life in this episode, because there's one part where they're trying to charge the kids as a hate crime against women, and Barth says, "This is Sandy. All of these young men have mothers and sisters and girlfriends." I was like,
okay, yeah.
Yep.
What's your point?
Everyone
who's ever committed a crime has a mother. Like, let's just put that fact out there.
Right.
How did you get? Yeah, somebody brought you here.
Yeah.
They may not
cookie crack.
They may not have been the one who raised you. You may not have been the mother that raised you.
But they still have a mother. Like, I hate that argument. It's so dumb.
Biologically had to come out of
somebody,
some woman, somehow. So anyway, I think one of my favorite parts of this episode is when Dr. Hoffman pulls his son Jacob Hoffman and goes, "There's no way I'll let my son be charged with a hate crime." I started laughing so hard because I was like, that makes sense. The one Jewish kid was like, no.
Yeah.
Do not put me down with them. I liked that. I liked that a lot, actually.
Like, not the hate crime. No.
Fine. Rape, fine. Not a hate crime.
The hate crime, that's where I draw the line. It's like that. Is it from Community? Like, I can tolerate racism, but I would draw the line at animal cruelty. Isn't that the quote from that?
Maybe.
I watched it. I don't remember that. I don't remember.
Sorry. Well, I'll post it on my Twitter so everyone knows I didn't just make that up. Okay.
No, I'm not done the series. So I might have missed it. I'm not done the series yet.
Okay.
All right. Well,
it's a good meme. No one else recognizes it.
Look, Sapphire in the chat is killing it today. Elliot says he has daughters. He's still chauvinistic. That's true.
Well,
I don't know. Okay, I think that Elliot Stabler just has overall toxic masculinity, and underneath that, you can very much includes being a chauvinist. But he's toxic masculinity, and it's real.
We'll get to organized crime in a sec. Yeah, it'll take 2 seconds. Don't you worry. All right, so where were we? Oh, all right. Well, at the end, everyone takes a deal. I
was like, we were at anti-Semitism because that one kid was like being such a dick.
That's my favorite. That was my other favorite part is when he says, "My father said the club should have never let Jews in," and he says, "I'm gonna put hate crimes back on the table."
Yeah, I was like, shut up. Like, what? Okay.
Daryl's asking if we're gonna talk about the protest. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna skip over that whole thing because here's why.
We didn't see it.
Yeah, I support this organization doing their march. I support them marching. Do not march to a house full of rapists while they're home. Like they marched. All of them got out on bail. So they were all available. They were all home. And so you marched to their home. Of course they're going to attack you. They're home. If they weren't there, I'd be like, hell yes, go. And then, vandalize the place.
They're college students. And you're like, you're trying to put yourself back into the mindset of being in college. And in college, I don't know. My generation was the YOLO generation for real. So, you know, and you're so fired up and amped up about all the things happening in the world and you want to make something happen, you kind of probably just don't give a fuck. And then, to be honest, if this is a group that's done this, they clearly have a method that they do this on. Those women could have been victims. Those women could have been friends of victims. And so when it's personal for people like that, they don't care. It's not people don't care about the consequences of it. Just because the law says one thing, you came here and you did this. People prefer street justice and they don't care. But even though they got their ass whooped for going over there.
That's what I'm saying. March all you want. Just don't go to their house because they're home.
Yeah, stay off the property part.
And with the blow up doll, the girl's face. I think it just, but I understand the
That's
point.
so childish. I hated that. I was like, this is juvenile.
Yeah, they're little boys.
Yeah, but it was stupid. I was like, that's not clever.
Because you think that you're gonna, you know, get away with it. But of course, like, you know, that elitist type of attitude is not new to this show at all.
But then they did, like, in terms of the protest, like, they did get away with it. All of the things they did, they got away with in attacking these women, which is why I was going to skip this whole section because nothing happened in it. Nothing changed for anybody. Like, if you remove that entire section.
Well, hold on, wait a minute. Now, maybe it's a seed. Maybe it's a seed that is to be planted and watered as it pertains to more showing Carissi's personal life. You pointing out the thing with the dad and seeing more of that, and us now seeing Mia, and that Mia is this established person who is connected to the squad, who is at the rapiest university in all of New York, right? Yeah. So maybe that has something to do with just establishing who they are, and then also like they called them something else too. They were talking about their protest in like a negative way before we even got to the protest part. So like, I think maybe just establishing this group, or maybe setting a seed, or maybe it's just for no damn reason at all. I want to believe that they do things for a reason. Now I see why we lost Kat and Garland, because they wanted to bring in this man for hate crimes. They could have left him back with, I'm be quiet. It's mean.
Back at the Bishop Club.
They could have left him
back at the Bishop Club.
Right where he was at.
I love you both so much. I want to give some shout outs. So Mia, as we may recall, has been previously seen. That is Ryan Shane. She played Mia previously, but also she was in the episode with who was it that was impregnating daughters? Was it James Vanderbeek? I think it was James Vanderbeek.
Yeah.
He was like he was the father of all the kids.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh no, not the one.
Father Dearest, I believe is what that was called.
Yeah. He was her dad.
He was impersonating the donor dad, not the one where the guy had had all the daughter.
He's
all
the one
kids.
that's like he's
he's fucking them.
Famous.
Was that the one?
The one that was like dancing with her, right? He dances with her.
James Vanderbeek, not John Stamos.
Yeah, both great episodes though.
Wild.
The John Stamos one is legendary. That's with the fishing knife, at the end.
Yes, the shark knife bit. So giving her a shout out for returning. I'm looking through this cast. There's just a lot of people. There's a lot of great people. That's all. I did expect that when we were in the hospital to see Nurse Rudy, and he was not there, and I was really
what the heck? Get him back.
Yeah. So wonderful. Sapphire, did you just super chat us?
How do you do that?
If you did, that is.
How do you do that?
No, you super chat means that Sapphire donated some money to our stream, which is so kind.
Thank you.
We're both making the same face though.
We're shocked.
I'm shocked. Thank you. We will.
Y'all.
Thank you. We will. I'm out of words. What are we doing?
I'm gonna cry, you guys.
I guess we need to decide on something we want to do as a reward for super chats.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Say you don't think you're cool without saying you don't think you're cool. All of us, as soon as someone does something nice, oh wow, thank you. And if you guys do something nice and you're listening on any of the podcast platforms. Make sure that you rate us 5 stars, 4 stars if you have a comment to make it better. And all the other ones, like Yael said, are unfortunately broken. Take that up with Apple and them or whoever else. If you do that, you can do that.
I want to wrap up this episode discussion and talk about how everyone took a deal. And literally the whole argument in this episode was we want to add the hate crime enhancement to rape, and there's no precedent for it before, and we're trying to set the precedent, and then we don't get to. This is the second time this has been suggested, and it doesn't happen. So why? Let's see the case. Let's see Carissi try this case. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe we'll get to. I would like to get to. Like a different case with that. Like
we're not doing it because legally it's not in New York. Is that
that's my guess? Probably.
Okay. Well,
it's not the real world. Just change it. Y'all didn't wear the damn mask. Just give us the damn precedent somewhere. I could see it in my lifetime. Shoot us Women's History Month. You just did it.
You're right. That's true.
Good point.
That's some good points right there. All right. Any final thoughts before we move on to best lines? Because I know that Taylor is holding on to a billion.
Itching to share.
I think
here we go. Best lines. Felicia, would you like to start?
I sure will. Let me go here on my Apple device. Okay. These kids don't see the help, but the help sees them. That's the way. Because I was like, right, okay. It's kind of a remix. Sluts and bitches and hoes.
It's kind of a remix. It's so good. It's kind of a remix.
This is Olivia with the president. She said, "Well, can you give me a sense of the timeline? It's happening now." Like, I'm gonna use that.
No,
the timeline is happening now. Yeah, I like that.
I like that a lot.
Olivia again. Listen to McGrath. Listen, actually, this is a conspiracy. They were all involved. Not just the 3 were charging for rape, and quite frankly, I wouldn't mind seeing them all on the registry. Neither would I, Olivia.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, his how is that understood? Not the content, but the delivery. I'm trying to work on my affect. I'm on the road to Damascus. And then the judge, when all the guys appear before them, he goes, "Are all these yours? They get a group discount?"
Yes.
Group discount is so good.
So those are my lines for this episode. This episode has really a lot of lines.
Oh my God, so many. Okay. So many. All right. So I can tell you her mood, DTF.
DTF.
I was like, do kids still say that? Isn't DTF out? Like that seems like
people still say it.
Oh, the writer's room.
The writer room tells you what generation they are. It's open season on young men. I literally shouted, "Good."
Yeah.
Good. It is open season on young men. In college, absolutely. You know what? It has been open season on women in college forever. So your turn. Your turn. When Jason Biggs asks if Judge Barth used to be a judge, does she believe in this? And Finn says she believes in a payday times 16. 100% agreed. I already said that all these young men have mothers, sisters, and girlfriends. Oh, and when Brad says that he will not snitch on his brothers, and Carissi says, "That's fine, Brad. You stay loyal to," or somebody said it, "You stay loyal to your fellow rapist, and I get to take you to trial." Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, of course, and in this club, we have a code. The bitches are our foes. Good use of foe, everybody. Good use of foe.
All right. I have like 15 left because y'all have said a couple, but I still have many. So the father's not in the picture? I'm just making conversation. No, you're not. That is not a conversation you should be making. First time he babysat, he dropped a 1-year-old on his head. Girl, why are you saying this? Genuinely, I thought it was sweet when Amanda was like so excited that she liked her, though. Like the "she likes me" moment, I thought was cute. It was a little cute. Okay, I'll have to give it to them. Right. We heard you were having a party tonight. Every night. Luckily, we don't have to talk to any dead presidents.
That was so good.
Yeah. Which one are you, Tweedledee or Tweedledum? The detective from Hate Crimes, how'd they let them in there? How'd they let him in there? They were like roasting him so hard. Apparently he's a legend. Apparently it doesn't take much. They literally did not let that man breathe for 1 second this episode, as they shouldn't.
Right.
He'll bust a gasket if I don't answer. Who talks like that? What fraternity man would say the phrase "he'll bust a gasket"? Okay, something's not adding up.
I'm guessing one who has worked on cars.
I guess, but I hated it. I don't feel like he's ever touched a tool in his life. That's fair. He ain't touched anything like that. You have a right to an attorney. If you can't afford one, we can.
We can.
Also from the arrest scene, I have an econ presentation later. No one asked. Literally no one asked.
From the arrest, when they were getting arrested, when they were like, "Stop talking," and he was like, "Right, you have the right to remain silent." We know, we're getting it.
They were like, shut up. Okay, I have 2 more.
Yeah.
It's a performance of the politically correct in the theater of the woke.
That was beautifully written.
Do less. Do less. And then finally, Jacob's a rat. Yup, and he got the cheese.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Just art. Just art. From start to finish.
This episode really was full of great lines.
Yeah.
And not just the entire song. Okay, so we added a segment now that there is the mothership, and we have acknowledged that the mothership and organized crime do exist. I am sitting through organized crime so that you don't have to. I will say the story has gone back to, so this season we had a really interesting story where Stabler was undercover. For whatever reason, we came back to Richard Wheatley and all that garbage. And now we're to a new storyline that is having Stabler undercover. So I think it might get more interesting again. So if you're planning to watch organized crime, I say start season 2, stop in the middle, and start again. But as we've said, we will only be addressing it if things are actually relevant to our show. And last week we saw that Benson was going to appear, and she did. My note says she was there. I know that a lot of people read some EO stuff into it, and potentially that's where it's going, but currently she was there, and that's all you've missed.
Wow.
You're welcome. I sat through the whole episode for you.
God bless you.
Thank you. But that is the update on organized crime, and I'm not watching the mothership.
I'm watching it. I've watched, it's been 3 episodes, and they've all actually been really, really good. It seems like what they're trying to do is reintroduce. Girl, I rolled my eyes. I looked over here quickly. Did you roll your eyes at me? Yeah.
I made a face.
Oh, you bad because you tried to fix your face. I caught you fixing your face back to a smile. I was like, I know she.
It wasn't it you? It's at the mother.
I don't like criminal whatever organized crime. I don't really like criminal intent either. But the mothership coming back. It's a lot of contention with the current squad right now. So I'm guessing and figuring that we won't really get like storylines or like really strong arcs or anything like that for the next couple episodes, because they're continuing to try to build on the squad relationships and reintroduce them, because that show came out so long ago, has been gone for a really long time. So for some people, that is a brand new show, and they don't know that was the OG, you know? So it's not that bad. There's a lot of contention, like I said, again, with the squad. it's nice to see them almost all back. And there actually are a lot of repeat offenders from SVU who are in, who have made appearances through the Law and Order, the OG, resurgence or, reboot or whatever. So if you want to see those familiar faces, you can. So I enjoyed it because of that. I'm going to keep watching it. So far, so good.
Well, you do you. We have no reviews.
I have to do organized crime. I'm good. And I'm still watching Chicago Med.
Like I said, you do you.
Give Shonda Rhimes a chance.
What Shonda Rhimes had nothing to do with Chicago?
That's Station 19. That's Grey's and that. There is too many fire, EMS, police trifecta. I get it, but it's a lot to remember all the different people.
I am an SVU purist, and this is my show. All right. Yeah. Taylor, it is time for our weekly poll.
Yeah, it is. All right. Last week we had an amazing Rollins Undercover episode, and so that was the poll. Your favorite Rollins Undercover episode was. Very interesting results. In last place, we have Father Dearest, which we were actually just talking about a couple minutes ago, with 6.1% of the vote. In third place, we have Starstruck Victims with 12.1% of the vote. In second place, now this is an upset to me personally, Gambler's Fallacy with 33.3% of the vote. Deserved to sweep, but that's fine. Because last week's episode was good too, and it was Video Killed the Radio Star. 48.5% of the vote. That was very surprising. So people really liked last week's.
It's usually never the new episode. It's usually never the new one.
I know. I can't believe it wasn't I can't believe it was Gambler's Fallacy.
Maybe it was the performance of maybe it was the overall it's not just her in it that people liked, because
right. I think that if you look at it, it's the length of time she was undercover for each episode.
Oh, interesting. Actually.
Like she was undercover for most of last episode. And then for Gambler's Fallacy, she was undercover only after she got in trouble.
Yeah.
And so it was the second half of the episode. Then if you go down, it's right. Like,
yeah.
Father Dearest, it was a scene.
Yeah. But she was a lesbian. So.
No, I get it.
Hello. I thought that would make me pump it a little, but
time is how that poll worked out.
Yeah, that's a good point.
What's this week?
We're asking you guys what your favorite Hudson U episode is.
Girl.
There's so many. If you can comment below, but I did choose 4 just for this one. We have Grey, which is season 12, episode 9. That is one with Chuck's love potion number 9. Correct, Yael?
Yes, that is Chuck Mills. That is an actor who I see in other things and literally refer to him as Chuck Mills.
He's in everything. He's done a really good job, but
yeah. A classic. We have Girl Dishonored. That's season 14, episode 20. That's one with the sorority girl who gets hazed and then raped. It's very similar to the other ones. It's good though. It's solid. Good performances. And then we have Devastating Story, which is season 16, episode 18. That's one with a TV interview or something. Yeah.
That's the one where you have the girl who goes on the news to say that she was gang raped at Hudson. And then the story keeps changing, and it turns out that her advisor told her to say, and then in the end, she doesn't get justice because she changed her story so much, and so the guys get away with it. I think Buchanan is one of the lawyers in there. It's the one where they all chant "I am Jane."
Yes.
Oh, that's a good episode.
Yeah, these are all good. And then of course we have Promising Young Gentleman, which we just talked about. So go ahead and rewatch if you didn't get the gist. I
definitely thought you were going to do a poll about fraternities, which I was ready to tell us all about the Tau Omega fraternity, which is brotherhood.
Most of these have fraternities in them, but still.
Tau Omega is not at Hudson. They are at Wallace University and Thompson Square, but not at Hudson.
And why? For what?
It's so funny. All right, we will tell you where to find the poll in just a bit. It is time for the segment we forget. What did we learn?
The worst part about it is we mentioned this in the beginning and said, oops, we forgot. And then got to again and said, oops, we forgot again.
Yeah.
Or I forgot again.
I did.
I learned
Yeah.
that McGrath is really trying to work on his delivery.
On the road to Damascus.
Exactly. And he is getting there.
Girl, okay. I learned through this episode of our podcast, of us talking about the episode of Law and Order, that all the different words that rhymes with hoe.
Good one.
Here, so I realized a lot of words that rhyme with hoe, and I will be sure to keep that into consideration while creating.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
I play softball says we learned bitches are our fun.
That's so true. I play softball. You're so right for that.
Picture. Wait a minute. Bring it back up for a second.
Yeah, genuinely.
Jesus, girl.
True.
Dang, damn, you look great. Sorry.
Yeah, that's a really good picture.
And that's a great thing to learn. Honestly, all around 10 out of 10 on that.
Bitches are.
Before I figure out what I've learned, Sapphire asked, will Benson appear on the mothership Law and Order? Honestly, I don't know. And if she does, or if we cross over with them, we will, of course, address that when it happens.
I'm
But
sure
until
she
then,
will.
I will not be sitting through that.
Yeah, I feel like they're gonna do one though, for sure.
I'll watch the mothership one. That's fine. I think she'll be on there because it's like, you know, it's like what they did to us, you know, with organized crime. Like, come, you want some candy? Come over here. And then it's like nothing good over there, you know? So they're gonna try to lure people to watch Law and Order because with Mariska, you put her face on.
What if
I want to follow it?
What if they do like a massive, because they used to do ones with the Chicago shows too. What if they did like a 6-part crossover? That'd be kind of iconic. It'd be a mess, but it'd be kind of iconic.
I'm sure we're gonna cross over with the 3 at least.
Yeah, but now I want like the 6. Like I want all the Chicago and all the New York to team up just for fun.
No.
I would
just for chaos.
You don't watch Chicago Med and all the other ones, so you don't know. That would actually be really like.
That's the thing. I want it.
But
for the pure insanity of it.
There's actually all a bunch of L&O cross-ups and crossovers and things we never asked for, never wanted that we will be getting. But there might be things we didn't know we want and we get. So
I know what I learned.
Oh, here we go.
That the Grand Prix attack is a chess thing.
Oh, okay. Okay, Queen's Gambit, go off.
I learned a chess thing.
So it's like an attack. It's like a specific move in chess to attack something.
I just learned that that's what it is. I don't know that it is a chess thing.
I don't play chess. I don't know.
It was what's his name? Parlato-Goldstein said it. When they said the Boom Room is now called the Grand Prix Room, which was going to be the thing I learned. I was like, wait a second. Oh, he goes, oh, like the Grand Prix attack in chess.
Oh.
I learned a thing, everybody.
The morning.
There you have it.
Amazing. All right. So, what else do we have on our show? Some announcements. Like Felicia said, please make sure you're rating and reviewing us anywhere you listen to podcasts. We don't have any new reviews on iTunes, which is a bummer because we will read them in some sort of voice. Sarah has learned yet more reasons not to go to Hudson ever. I have learned that we will be making at least one type of Hudson U merch. Yes. If you would like to check out the merch that we have already made, for example, we have Slammin' Pair of Jeans onesies for your offspring. We have what was the other ones that we have?
Snowball.
Justice for Snowball. The Noah quote.
And
we have some other dumb ones.
Orgasms with consent.
Orgasms with consent, yes. So to check out that merch, there is a link below in our description, wherever you're listening or watching. If you're on Spotify, you can watch us as well as listen, so you can see what we look like.
Oh God, don't watch this episode because I look.
You look
wonderful.
ugly.
But
Well, no, whenever that young lady popped up her profile picture, it made me. I was like, step back, humble. Thanks. I gave her a British accent. Thanks, babe.
you gotta watch just to see how beautiful this photo is.
True. Honestly, facts.
So, yeah. Also, what other notes do we have? Next week, there's a new episode. This has been 4 weeks of new episodes.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, literally unheard of since the fall. So this is so surprising.
Yeah. And Sherry Saul's gonna be on it, who I love so much. I'm so excited. Yeah. If you watch Gambler's Fallacy, you know who she is too.
Yes. So that's very exciting as well. Before we wrap up and tell you where to find us in the poll, I want to give some shout outs to people who are watching us live. We have a lot of people here live with us.
That is so nice.
Yeah, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. Mr. Big Rose 11, who is recording his SVU podcast tonight. Nice. Daryl is here. Sarah is here. Sapphire, of course. I play softball. Danny Thomas, who says, I hope you had a good B-Day, Yael. That's so sweet. Thank you, Danny. I had a great birthday. There were more people. Jennifer is here. I saw there was more. Zach was here. Zach says they hug themselves with that song.
Yeah, they did.
So good. I know Leo is here as well. I'm going up through the chat. I love how many people were chatting.
Yeah, me too.
So good. Thank you all so much for being here with us live. If you want to keep up with us throughout the week, I will be watching SVU, that's for sure. That's what I do in my free time. But Felicia, where are you these days? What are you up to?
You know what? I was hoping that you had asked Taylor first, because I was trying to make a mental list of what I have on. Taylor.
All right. Yeah, you can find me in the poll on Twitter at Alphaba_, and you can also find me on Instagram at Taylor_Gates_.
Amazing.
Yep. Did that buy you enough time?
No, because I can't find my notebook that I wrote it all down in, but I'll try to go off the top of the dome. Okay, so hey, I'm Felicia. And there's other shows and podcast things I do, and I like to talk a whole lot. So if you want to follow me, you can follow me on Instagram. There it is right there. Hold on. I started to put a fiber in my mouth. I don't like that. All right. I host For the Buzz. You can check that out. That's a weekly entertainment music show. We talk about all the fun things there. We do The Buzz Unlisted, which is my other podcast. You can go onto my social media platforms and find out where that's all at, plus a bunch of other projects and stuff going on that, you know, just keep your girl lifted in prayer. I'm just trying to be everywhere. I just want you to blink and all you see is me. I'm working on it.
Amazing. I am Yael Tygiel. I'm everywhere at Yael Tygiel. That is YAELTYGIEL. Let's see. Right now, this is the only thing I'm doing. But coming back, I think this week is Hollywood Approved on the Hollywood Critics Association YouTube channel with Kristen Maldonado. We took a hiatus because she was planning her wedding, which happened yesterday. So we should be back this week.
Congratulations.
I'll let her know.
God bless you, girl. Hold on tight. Use your thigh muscles. I would recommend your thigh muscles.
Lock it down. I love it. That show's back. You can check out the official Leverage Redemption After Show, a very distinctive podcast with me and Felicia on the Electric Now app. Season 2 of that show is coming up at some point. And when that happens, whenever that happens, there will be a season 2 of the After Show. I will have more stuff to announce as time goes on, but right now I can't say anything else.
Don't you hate this funky ass industry? You be hype about shit you can't even tell nobody about because you don't know. Like you gotta wait till the ink dries or wait till things come to fruition. I hate this funky ass industry sometimes. I got so much fun stuff I want to tell people about, but I just be like, be humble and quiet. Be humble and quiet.
It's hard because I am talkative. Yeah, this is why people shouldn't tell me things because I want to share the news with everybody all the time. Anyway, I also will be, keep an eye on the social medias. That's where the announcements will be. Okay, I think that's everything. Aaliyah is here watching while they clean. I love that. Honestly, I love our audience. You're all so wonderful. So thanks for being here, everybody. And we very much look forward to more SVU on S Review next week. So we'll see you then. Bye, everybody.